My name is Erik. I work at All Ears. All Ears is like a media measurement company similar to McRack or a tiny meltwater. But we do have a special focus and a special niche because we have been working for 20 years with television, the guys and the girls working in my company. And we believe that audio and video means more than text when it comes to influencing people's opinions and driving purchase intent. And that's why we think if you need to prioritize, we want to focus on audio media. We have it based in academic background too. I think though most of us in this room would agree, but there is plenty of academic research behind the impact of audio and video that we are ready to purchase more if someone is passionately talking about it or waving their arms or talking strongly about something, as opposed to just reading a bunch of text, which is the basis, I would say, in our industry so far. Some observations now when it came to this election, very famous, right? Some people called it a podcast election. More people tuned in to various podcasts, right? Joe Rogan show, the other interview podcasts that are very famous and very popular among American consumers. More people listen to that instead of listening to CNN, just to get a little bit of feeling of the strength of how this forum is growing. We have lots of people using YouTube and TikTok, right? We have billions of active users each month on YouTube globally. To a big extent here in the US, we have 1.6 billion active users per month in TikTok in US. And TikTok is surviving also all its assaults, and we see how it has an incredible stickiness, especially in this society. We have some very concrete use cases, and that's what I'm here to talk about. We have, just to prove that these mediums are so important to focus on and gather a lot of data from, a lot of mentions from. We follow millions of TikTok accounts on a regular basis, and we have about 50 large American customers who use it every day and for many years now because they believe it matters a lot, parallel to usually use the other systems that we mentioned here today, like meltwater, McRack, etc. We have the political, it's not a think tank, but it's a political PR firm that follows specifically 20,000 TikTok accounts split up on several different blocks because they know that they have certain political views and they want to see how that impacts the general opinion. Then this is back in the UK. We have a big pharma company. I'm not going to say the name, but it's one that many in this room is working with. And they are tracking migraine. It's obviously a big topic. It will be mentioned a lot. We capture tens of thousands of mentions of this each month. But the dominant medium where people are talking about this problem is on TikTok, where people are ventilating their headache problems, obviously, what kind of pills they're taking, what kind of methods they're taking to kind of mitigate this problem with migraine. And this is what we capture. This is the data that we give to our clients and to this pharma customer who gets a huge benefit out of it. Swanson Health, another use case. Swanson Health is a nutrition company, a wellness company. They do supplements. They've been around since the late 60s here in the US. They have something like 20,000 different products. They mostly sell through e-com or even catalog sales. They use our tool because they wanted to get ahead and understand what's going to trend in terms of all these buzzwords in the stuff we're taking pills of, right? They are tracking 30 or 40 of these. I can't even pronounce the names of these elements, but they want to see if people talk about it on TikTok. They want to see if people talk about it on YouTube or in podcasts. And that's what brings input for them to develop new product and find the right new nice pill that we would love to take and becomes even the new trend that thousands or hundreds of thousands of us are ready to take. They use this to find influencers on TikTok. Like we focus on TikTok, right? We have millions of accounts that we follow. So we catch a lot of people who talk favorably without being paid about these products. And that is what is valuable to Swanson, to find new influencers, not through influencer platform tools, which is normally the way the paid media would work, but in a genuine way. And this is also, we should remember, a little bit internal corporate politics. We talked about that today. Here is the communications team usually that is finding good influencers, recommended to the marketing division, and coming out as stars because they are providing a data-based idea of what influencers would be good for our brands in this situation, supplements. Next customer case, Sprout. I'm not sure you heard about it, but you all heard about almond milks. You all have heard about oat milks. These are doing pea milk, so milk from peas. Maybe that came out wrong in English, but you understand what I mean, right? The thing you eat, you know, the green peas. And that is a tricky thing to track, right? So they also used predominantly TikTok and YouTube monitoring through all years to find people who are talking about how they're not liking the oat milk, how they're not liking the almond milk, but they still don't want to go back to, cow milk. They want to find an alternative, and that they found through our. And we can also say that they basically spotted this white space, and that's how you can start using a communication type of tool for marketing purposes as well. It's very interesting. I think a lot of the presentations today has been about how communications and marketing are blended together, and I think we're doing our best there. Good. I will leave you here. This is the last slide, so I'm fairly quick today. We talked a lot about lists or key actions to take today after the different presentations. So I try to do something a little bit different here. Instead of giving, how do we use AI tools today? We go to them and we say, please, how can I solve this problem? How can I find a focus group for that? What product should I launch, etc. In this situation where everyone is going to ask LLM and everyone is going to get the same intelligence, I just wanted to leave you with the thought that we should keep asking questions internally. That should be our action. We should keep our critical mind, which we talked about a little bit today, and ask questions about what's going to disrupt our industry or business today, not only tomorrow, but maybe in 10 years from now. I had some examples here on the screen, right? I think, or in our company, we think that the hardware, how we consume communication is going to change. Maybe it's glasses, maybe it's a chip inside our stomach. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to be different than what we have today. New social media will appear. We don't even know the name of it. We see how different attempts pop up, like Blue Sky. Reddit's been around for 10 years now, a little bit more. What's going to be there tomorrow? And we believe that this next medium is going to be a voice medium, and we are going to be there to capture it when it appears. We think also, and this is maybe the most important today, when it comes to all the creators on TikTok, all the creators on YouTube, we think that there's going to be a shift in their power. They are right now in 2 different platforms, which has big impact on all our work, I should say. We don't believe that that will remain the same in the future. We believe that that's been there for like 15 years or something, 20 years. It's not a long time in a long-term historical perspective. They will, in lack of better words, unionize or find ways to stick up to their platforms more. And that's why we think it is just a following process in democratization process that they become a bit more free than they are today. And companies like us will be able to gather more data from there. We just happen to be in the forefront when it happens. We do think AI will take over all digital entertainment. Like it or not, this might not be so difficult to imagine. Now we see 10-second Hollywood clips, right, being made of AI. But it's no doubt that this is going to replace a huge part of entertainment in the future. Robotics is going to develop dramatically. What is going to happen with us in just 20 years, maybe 50 years if we give it a bit more time? What are we going to do with all that time if we don't have to sit in here, but the robots are sitting here? Well, that's interesting to think about because people will always want to try to sell some kind of products. That's how the world is moving forward, and they need to communicate about that product. And we hope to be there when that happens. Good. The last thing, what were form opinions about governance and consumption? So how in that world, when the robots, I mean, this is a bit crazy, I agree, but try to think about the situation where the robots and the AI has become self-aware, how we will choose our leaders and what will influence to elect certain leaders. Okay, so that was it from me. Keep asking questions, stay critical. That's how we will survive against the robots on this strike. Thank you.